YouTube, what's up? It's your boy 360 Jeezy, and I'm showing you guys how to do a contour fade, so stay tuned. First thing you want to do when doing a contour fade is basically you want to look at the shape of his head and kind of go with, as you see me doing here, I'm kind of cutting with the shape of his head, starting at a curve and going all the way down. And then I'm basically using my Slimline Pros, but you can use any balding clipper that you have, but you want to make sure you go with the grain when you're using your Slimline Pros or any clippers or basically any liners that you're using. You want to go with the grain of their hair. The reason why I'm using the Slimline Pro, the Andis Slimline Pro, is because it gives me the ability to kind of contour the head and give it a shape that I want it. You know, like when you're doing like regular fades, you could use a big clipper, but on a contour fade, you want to use like your liners so you can get that shape that you want. Right now I'm just kind of following that same curve that I did on the other side. Usually I would go back and forth and check how high each side is, but on this one, you know, I'm pretty good with judging how high I go based on the inches that I go above the ear. I always just do like 1.5 inches above the ear, and you know, that's how I keep my guidelines so straight. But if you're a beginner and you're first time trying this, you might want to double check how high you're going. But me, I don't have to. I just make sure I go like 1.5 inches above the ear. With a cut like this, your first guideline is everything. It dictates how smooth your contour line is gonna be. Like the rest of your fade, it will always dictate. So make sure your first guideline is straight. Like everything should be neat. Your first guideline, your second guideline, your third guideline. The only thing that's not neat is when you're actually blending. Right now I'm using my Oster speed lines. They're just like the fast feeds. I just like the gold blade on them, so that's why I picked them up. Yeah, I'm making sure I go a full inch, just fading and setting another guideline, making sure that it matches the bottom line. You see how I'm kind of making sure that it's real even. Make sure that everything is even and you're actually going with the bottom line. When you're doing fades, make sure that you set the guideline and not, you know, like don't be afraid to put the hard line in there. You see how you can see two lines? Like don't be afraid to make your guideline and make it neat. I can't stress that enough. Like that's the reason why my blends come out pretty good, is because I make neat guidelines. I don't try to rush my guidelines and try to make it blend into the next step. No, I just put my guidelines in and make sure they're set. To the other side, I'm still conscious about how high I go up. Just still setting in my guidelines, making sure that it is a guideline and it's not like a faded, like I'm fading it in. I'm just setting my guidelines, trying to keep it consistent and matching up with the bottom line. I know some of y'all is like, whoa, Jeezy is actually explaining in this video. Whoa, where they do that at? But yeah, I just wanted to give y'all something, something different. I never done it. I never explained in my videos, so just pay attention, man. I'm always do something new. Next guideline I'm setting is the one open. Alright, again, I'm just making sure my guideline is set. Alright, I can't stress that enough. Make sure your guideline is in there. I mean, when I mean in there, I mean in there. Don't try to blend, you know what I'm saying, to another guideline or something like that. Don't try to blend to another guideline. Just set your guidelines and make sure they're even. When you're cutting hair, sometimes you gotta go in a different direction to get all of the hair, as you see me doing right now. I'm actually pulling in a different direction. I'm not just going straight up. Sometimes, I go diagonal, and that's what you gotta do sometimes to get the hair to be at that same guard length. If some of you guys are thinking, oh, why is he not brushing the hair down after he's, setting these guidelines? With his hair texture, sometimes with some clients' hair texture, you don't have to brush it down on a guideline. Like, for some reason, some straight hair, they just lay down after you cut it. So on some guidelines, you don't have to cut it, but when you're blending, and I'll get into that as I go to my next guideline. When you're blending, you definitely have to brush the hair down, no matter what. Just get the hairs out of there. Right now, I'm putting in my duckbill clips. You can get them from eBay, Amazon, and that's just to make sure the hair stays in place. Right now, I'm using the 2 guard open and just going up, setting another guideline. On this one, I really necessarily don't have to, keep it even. I'm just really just cleaning up the hair so it could just all fall in place. I'm not really worried about setting a full guideline at this point. But on this side, it does come into play because that's where the hair falls. So when you do the fade, make sure you go straight up. Don't dig in. Just if there's a lot of hair on top, just go straight up. That'll even out your blend, and you won't have to really use the clipper over comb. I'm gonna do the clipper over comb, but it'll make the clipper over comb process that much easier. Somebody hit me in the comment section, was like, man, Jeezy, you don't never do the clipper over comb. I mean, I don't, but you know what I'm saying? I could do it. I could do it too. Watch me in action. You know what I'm saying? I can't really tell you what I'm doing, but I'm basically lifting up the comb and I'm cutting the excess hair off. All right, that's what I'm doing. All right. Somebody said I didn't use clipper over comb technique. Here's your clipper over comb technique. You know what I'm saying? I'll be watching y'all in the comment section. I'll be looking at all y'all comments, and some of y'all be talking reckless. So I gotta prove y'all wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have to prove nothing to you. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna give them what they want if they're asking for it. But yeah, man, this is my clipper over comb action right here. I'm just basically making sure everything is even and taking off the bulk that I see. Now here's a part of the fade that I love the most. I got my 0 guard on and it's closed, and I'm basically flicking out. Now, I'm not setting a guideline. This process is totally different from setting a guideline. If you guys thought that this process should be the same, you're absolutely wrong. Setting a guideline and blending are two different things. Like right now, you're flicking out, you're basically flicking just at the line. Just at the line. You're adjusting your levers. Sometimes it's necessary to open and close, and that's basically what I'm doing right now. So I'm just open and closing, and basically flicking out and fading. You know what I mean? Like fading and setting a guideline is two different things. So you want to have it in your mind that when it comes to the zero closed, you're fading. Now you're blending. Now you're fading. You're flicking. It's a different motion than setting a guideline. On this side, I'm doing the same thing. I'm brushing the hair down, and with the lever closed with my zero guard, I'm just flicking at the line. I'm not going above the line. I'm just flicking right directly at the line. And yeah, man, this makes everything melt. Like, don't worry about any other line that you see above, the middle line that you're trying to blend. You can't look at anything else because that'll throw you off. Like, only look at the line that you're trying to flick out, because if you see what I'm doing right now, everything is starting to melt. Even though that you before there was 3 lines that you saw, there isn't anymore by you taking out the middle line. Like, everything just starts to melt once you take out the middle line. And that's what I love about the steps that I use. Once you take out that middle line, it's easy from there. All you do is take out that bottom line and everything else should blend. Now it's time to take out the bottom line. I got my lever closed and I'm just flicking just at the line. I'm adjusting my levers just slightly back and forth just to kind of, get the hairs that's right above the line and making everything blend and have a smooth transition. But for the most part, all you're gonna need to do is have the clippers closed and just blend out that bottom line. That's it. When cutting, you got to be able to use both of your hands. You got to be able to hold the ear down and cut at the same time. I see a lot of barbers that's kind of like iffy about using both hands while cutting. You got to learn how to line with the left hand, and you got to know how to line with the right hand. You got to use both hands, man. You got to be versatile with it. That way everything will come out even. Like when you're lining hair, you got to be able to use your left hand, because you'll wind up standing in an awkward position using your right hand with everything when it comes to the lineup. So that's just a helpful tip just to give you guys. Now, as I'm blending, I just want to talk to you guys. Basically, I do these videos by myself. Like, a lot of people would think that I have a big production behind my videos, and I don't. It's just me and my camera and my tripod. So it's kind of hard to cut and film at the same time, but I believe I get the job done. Like, it's a lot of stuff that I see on my after I cut, after I do the cut. That's because I'm not directly in front of the camera, you know what I mean? When you're cutting directly in front of the head, you get a better eye for things. Like when you're cutting on the side and trying to be out of the camera and still trying to blend, it could be a little difficult, but I try to do it, and for the most part I get the job done. But trust me guys, it's not easy. It's not easy to do these haircuts and film it at the same time. Although it might look like I'm dead center, I'm really not. I'm kind of off to the side. What you guys are seeing is dead center of my client's head. So like I said, it gets difficult, but I get the job done, but I feel as though I could do better if my viewpoint was better, but I feel like I do a good job otherwise. Once again, I'm using my Diane duckbill clips. You can get them off of eBay, Amazon. You could get them at Sally's, anywhere, any beauty supply store. And this is basically to hold the hair in place. I mean, shout out to Akira. She's the barber next to me. She put me on these clips, and they really are helpful. I kid you not, they're really helpful. I was using those big clips for the longest, trying to keep the hair out of the way, and these just make it that much more easier. When I'm lining them up, again, I'm not dead center, so it's kind of hard to line him up and make sure everything is on point, but I somehow manage to pull it off. But right now I'm just being real careful with my Slimline Pro Li's, and just lining them up the best that I can, making sure that everything is even, and I'm being real careful because these clippers can get sharp, and you don't want to press too hard on the skin. For those of you that keep asking me about my clip on my arm, this is a clip that I got from Instagram. I really don't know. Kid you not, I would tell you guys if I knew, but I really don't know like where I got it from. I seen it on Instagram. I went to the website. I ordered it, and I didn't really keep track of where I got it from. But those clips, man, they are on point. They speed up your time. You don't have to go to your station, back and forth grabbing clips. It just makes it a lot quicker and faster when it comes to exchanging your guards. Right now I'm starting in the middle just so I could get the curve on point. I don't know why, it just makes it easier for me to give a good curve when you start in the middle. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just kind of going against the grain, trying to line them up. My client wants a part on the side, so I'm using my duckbill clips just to lock the hair down once again, and just being real careful on how I line the side of his head, putting this part in real careful, and making sure I don't cut off any of the longer hairs. I'm basically cutting down to get the shorter hairs out of there. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of just pressing down a little bit to save his longer hairs, basically. not a lot of people talk about this. There's actually two sides to a line. It's one side, then there's the other side. Like, I don't know how to really explain it to you guys, but as you see, I'm actually focusing on the top part of the line right now. But before, I had my clippers focusing on the bottom half of the line. So when you guys doing your lines, to get them crisp, you gotta focus on, you gotta know in your head that there's two lines that you need to focus on when doing a part. Are you tired of going to the barbershop and coming out looking like this? Well, basically, you need to come to Velocity Cuts, because 360 Jeezy gonna get you in there. I'm very pleased with this cut.
Also help people get used cars, that's right. True Car isn't just for new cars. Their certified dealer network also...
Ladies, chill. He's only in 8th grade. He's only in 8th grade. Ladies, chill. Chill. I'm not gonna get a smile, but I was hoping for one.
This is my finished cut, you guys. I didn't have really enough time to show you guys how I styled the top, but basically I just put some gel in it. Yeah, it's your boy 360 Jeezy. Hope you like this video. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. I'm out.